Hello everyone, welcome to I Jump Instead and welcome to this 30-minute lower body strength and flexibility routine on a rebounder. I am Trophy Steffi. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'm going to be jumping on my 40-inch Beacon bungee rebounder. This is the Soft Land series. I'm using the strong bungees, and the link to this Amazon rebounder is in the description box below. We're going to start with a 5-minute warm-up, then we're going to do 5 minutes of one leg jumping for beginners, then we're going to do 5 minutes of glute activation exercises. Then we're going to lay down on our rebounder without needing to bounce. We're just going to do leg inversion exercises for 10 minutes. So powerful, so transformative. I have a towel and a pillow close by for maximum comfort. And then we are going to stand back up and do 5 minutes of health and wellness moves. Are you ready? 30 minutes for the lower body starts now. So let's get dialed into health bounce. Let's put our feet into a wide stance. Let's get the body pumping, hands on the bar. The shoulders I want to be apart, not forward or back, nice and open in the chest. And I want your core engaged. To help engage your core, lift through the spine while you keep your chin level and the teeth are closed because we're going to be breathing through the nose throughout the entire routine. And I also want your eyes relaxed as you stand up nice and tall here and feel every pump, getting the cells activated. Reaching up with your head, nice long neck. You can pull your shoulders down, just keep them open. Now let's do some neck stretches. Let's bring the chin down to the chest, but keep your chest lifted. Feel the back of the neck stretching. And rotate the head over to one side, ear to shoulder, pulling the opposite shoulder down. Feel that nice deep stretch in the neck. And slowly rotate the head over to the other side, ear to shoulder, pull that opposite shoulder down. And now let's rotate to the front again, chin to chest. Let's feel the chin push a little deeper into the chest for that nice deep back stretch. 3, 2, and 1. And facing forward, let's reach one arm out and let's look over the opposite shoulder. And now open the palm and I want you to wiggle the fingers in that nice full extension of the arm. And I want your shoulders forward as that head is perfectly centered over your shoulder. And I want you to now bring your palm down for a nice stretch through the wrist. Palm up, feel the stretch through the forearm and the tricep. And now I want you to twist through the arm, going into the shoulder joint, and twist the other direction. And now reach for one final time, standing nice and tall. 3, 2, and 1, switching sides. Palm facing down, chest is still up, head straight over that opposite shoulder. Let's wiggle the fingers in the extended arm. Palm faces down, feel the stretch in the wrist. Palm faces up, feel the stretch in the elbow. Now let's twist through the arm, twisting into the other direction. Stand up a little bit taller and reach through that arm. 3, 2, and 1. Facing forward, keep the toes facing forward. Let's twist the upper body, keeping one hand on the bar, and let's feel the back getting into a nice deep stretch as we bring it to life with this gentle bounce. Pull that back shoulder back, and I want you to extend the spine nice and tall. Three, 2, 1. Let's switch over to the other side. Nice and tall as you feel relaxed into a deeper stretch. 3, 2, 1. Let's bring the shoulders and hips forward. And let's stretch into the spine, feeling the down bounce take the stretch further, and the chin is also reaching forward. Let's go a little deeper into that stretch. Connect, feel it. 3, 2, and 1. And the opposite position, shoulders and hips back, tuck the chin, squeeze the arms into each other and the shoulders. Feel that lower back stretch and the bounce being applied to it in order to progress its flexibility. 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and step over to the side of the rebounder and do a little bit of a flutter kick. So I like to have the kick happen kind of in the up bounce. We're just gently bouncing here. Release the hip, the knee, the calf, the shin, the ankle, the toes. Just let it go, let it flow. 3, 2, switching legs, going over to the other side. Just let the thigh shake, the glute. Release, release, connect. 3, 2, and 1. Next up, 5 minutes of one leg jumping. So strengthening for the legs, yet so gentle. I want one foot in the center of the mat. It could be a couple inches back or wherever you feel is perfect for you. And then I want your other leg to lift off, and so we can have all of our weight in that standing leg. Now, use this other leg for support if you need it. If you want to put some toes down, just so you put like 90% of your weight in that standing leg and then 10 in the other, that is amazing and it's progressing your strength in this leg. So we're going straight to the hip, the core, the knee, and the ankle, and we're one leg jumping. So let's go ahead and switch legs. We're going to do 30 seconds on each side. So let's switch. So if you can lift the other foot off the mat, do so. Otherwise, a little toe touch there. And I want the knee of the standing leg to be just a little bit soft, and you feel the down bounce pump. So we're working our mat. We're on a resistance mat, a flexible surface, and we want to be pressing down, using our leg strength, our core and hip strength to jump in this one leg position. And let's switch legs. Here we go. You might notice that the foot is flat against the mat. You might notice that there's a little bit of a heel pump. You could even explore a full clearance. Just keep that in mind in case you are looking for a challenge or you want to try something new. Just be safe and know that this is very strengthening and potent to the hip and the knee and the ankle. Let's go ahead and switch legs. Here we go. We're still breathing through the nose. The shoulders are still open. Core is engaged. Just by lifting through the spine, that helps us to engage the core. But let's also touch the core and see if we can feel those core muscles engaged. Just by touching and firming it up as if you're bracing for that poke. And then connect that core strength to the hip and to the thigh. Switching legs. Here we go. Switching legs, 3, 2, and 1. You're doing great, keeping the core muscles activated, teeth closed, that soft bend in the knee, flat foot pressing down into the mat, activating the full thigh, the back of the leg, the knee, ankle, and hip. Switching legs, here we go. Feel free to explore with the other leg if you wanted to reach it a little bit or move it around. It's completely up to you. Let's go ahead and switch legs. Here we go. One more minute of one leg jumping, 30 seconds on each side, switching legs, here we go. Staying nice and tall in our spine, shoulders relaxed. Switching legs, here we go. Great job. Next up, we're gonna do 5 minutes of glute activation exercises. Are you ready? 3, 2, and 1. Feet in a wide stance. Let's actually bring it down to no bouncing. And then let's push our hips forward. Let's squeeze our glutes. So right now we're contracting the glute muscles as hard as we want to. I want you to find that perfect medium intensity of a squeeze in order to hold the squeeze for the next full 40 seconds of this minute. And I want you to be very present in that squeeze. As we're balancing on our mat, you can hold the bar. And I want your shoulders open, I want your spine tall, teeth closed, and connected. You might scan the muscles. You can feel free to touch the muscles. Maybe the outsides, feel them and connect to them. The top of the glutes, underneath. If there's any part of the glute that you don't feel is activating, I want you to see if you can introduce the activation. See if you can squeeze into it and get that full roundness in the connection, into the squeeze. And now let's go ahead and, holding the bar, introduce a gentle bounce with the glutes squeezed. So we're gonna stay in the squeeze for a whole nother minute. So whatever position your feet need to be in for maximum comfort, my knees are mostly straight right now as the hips are pushed forward, and I'm just gently bringing this isometric squeeze to motion with this gentle bounce. We could have our feet fully connected. We could have our heels pumping, and we could go to the next level and lift the feet just a little bit off the mat. One of those feet positions is not necessarily more potent because your goal is to stay in your isometric squeeze. So if I were to start jumping high and now I'm not squeezing as much in the glutes, I could just be stopped like this and holding a tighter squeeze, and that could get me more results than jumping. So just be in your isometric. We're bringing it to life. Now let's go ahead and release those hips. Let them go. Bend the knees and stick the glutes out straight behind you. So what I want you to do is stretch those glutes, and we're gonna start bouncing our feet down into the mat, meeting the rhythm of our mat. So find that pump that fits perfectly to our mat. And I want you to stay in a reach through the glutes. The chest could be lifted, or you can just have you can be leaning forward a little bit, but I want your chin level to the floor. Stay in your glute stretch behind you, if you can feel that. So if you can't feel the stretch, I want you to see if you can bend your knees more or reach to the floor with your glutes. See if you can actually expand and stretch out the glute muscles in order to open them up and create more room for more growth. Helping with circulation. And then to top off that reach in the glutes, as we gently bounce, you could squeeze into those glute muscles as well, like contract, like we were doing before, but squeezing instead while the glutes are in the extension and the reach. So staying here, you might explore now just bringing the toes to a wider position. You might feel a little difference in the glute activation as we just gently bounce and bob in this reach, and potentially if there's a squeeze in there too. Now we're gonna go ahead and I would just bring the toes in and then the heels and then the toes and the heels and get your feet into a hip width position. And now keep those glutes straight behind you, and those glutes should be activating and maybe even, you know, firing up a little bit. And that's just where you want them, just that perfect intensity. No need to cross over into painful territory or, you know, intense firing of the muscles, because we want to just bring them to an activation and bring them to motion. And then that is going to be how we progress with our skill. We stay consistent. We allow for fast recovery. We don't push too hard. And we focus on lengthening while we are applying the resistance of that downward pump or that circular motion. And then the second aspect of the resistance would be our internal squeeze. So there's a lot of factors involved here, a lot of potential for progression without needing to increase the intensity of the bounce or to make this move too intense in the first place. Whatever position might make it too intense for you, okay? So we are actually finished. Let's go ahead and release. Stand up tall. How do those glutes feel? Maybe just a little tapping onto the butt. And we're gonna lay down for 10 minutes of leg strengthening, leg inversion. So I'm gonna turn my beacon around. I'm gonna have my legs facing toward the bar, so please join me as we lay down on our rebounders for leg inversion. We're not bouncing when we do leg inversion. We're just focusing on our legs being upside down, helping with the circulation. So let's start with jitterbug. So the arms and the legs, let's shake them out. And let's relax in the eyes right away, teeth closed. Release the shoulders, the elbows and the wrists, the hips, the knees, the ankles, the toes. This is very healing for the legs. Three, 2, and 1. Now, relax the arms, legs are straight, and I want you to reach through the legs and keep the toes pointed, both feet pointed, and both legs nice and straight. Now, this is an opportunity here for you to squeeze into your legs. We're gonna focus a little bit more on strength in this class. So I want you to see if you can squeeze into the thighs. You might feel the activation into the knees or the lower half of the leg as well, and then the feet. Now keep the thighs and the legs activated and pull your toes towards you so you're in a feet flexed position. And you might keep squeezing and you'll feel your hips on the sides. You feel the lower hamstring, the calves. And now point the feet. Keep squeezing into those quads. Yes. As you straighten them and lengthen them, and now bring the feet into a flex, reaching through, stretching through the backs of the legs. 3, 2, and 1. Now let's just bring the legs forward and back. And if you are interested in a little bit more strengthening activation, you might put a gentle squeeze through the thighs, through the legs, and just as a reminder to keep the shoulders relaxed as much as possible as we focus on the hips and the legs and the lower body. Now let's go ahead and do this figure 8. Well, just crossovers here where the toes are pointed. The legs are inverted. First and foremost, that is strengthening the legs and creating more flexibility. And now if you wanted to, just like a ballerina might be doing in their most progressed, advanced dance and poses, they might have a flex in their thighs, in their legs. Feel free to explore that, to connect to that, to meet your energy levels today, to meet your flexibility level today. And we progress it with consistency, not with intensity. 3, 2, 1. Let's bend the knees. And then let's stand the legs up again and flex. And now bring them down, working on that knee mobility, that knee flexibility and strength. Teeth closed, shoulders relaxed. And I am pointing the toes at the top where I'm flexing the legs. Then I relax, bring it down, and squeeze. And now actually, don't forget, we're gonna squeeze the calves and the hamstrings together as the knees are bent. So squeezing in both positions. While the shoulders stay relaxed. Three, 2, and 1. Let's stretch into the thighs, the inner thighs specifically, by spreading the legs straight out. And you might put your hands on your knees and you can bob a little bit. The surface under your back is flexible, which will help to create a little motion to this position. You can point your toes. You could also sway side to side, going into the hips. But I do want you to feel a little bit of progression in your inner thigh flexibility. 3, 2, and 1. I'm gonna push my legs straight up in the air. Now I'm gonna bring my legs back towards me and stretch into the backs of the legs and the glutes. And you can kind of sway in and out of the stretch using that surface behind your back that is flexible. And I have my toes pointed as well. You could also hold and just be in a hold position. 3, 2, and 1. Legs straight up in the air, and let's twist through the legs. So just rotate in and out, going into those hips, focusing on the leg inversion here. Toes pointed, teeth closed. Let's do some ankle rotations starting in one direction, and I want you to make a count. Slow, focused, full ankle mobility. And now rotate into the other direction. And now spread the toes wide and see if you can spread them a little further than last time. 3, 2, 1. One leg bounces up against the bar, or you can bring it down to the floor if you want. The other leg comes towards your body, and I want you to pull your toes apart. Let's try to get those toes even more flexible. Now squeeze through the foot, creating more flexibility in your foot, in the top of the foot and the heel, and go all the way down the leg and squeeze, 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 and I mean with your hands. And you might massage, do anything you want to do, all the way down to the thigh, the upper thigh. And I want you to send some love, pay a compliment to your leg, connect to it. And now let's do some body tapping. So I'm going to tap the top half of the thigh all the way into the glute, the knee, calf and shin, top of the foot, and the bottom of the foot. And switch legs, starting with the knee bends, and then you pull your toes close to you, pull the toes apart. And squeeze into the foot, the ankle. So massage here and send some love. Nurturing our bodies. And now body tapping. All the way to the top and the bottom of the foot. 3, 2, and 1. And we're gonna finish it off with just slowly bringing our legs down. So we'll start with 15 seconds of just leg inversion. And now let's bring our feet down. And we'll transition back to the standing position and finish it off with some health and wellness moves. Let's go ahead now and sit up. And when you're ready, slowly stand up and get back on your rebounder. I'm going to turn my rebounder back around here. And let's begin with the alphabet. So we're going to mouth the letters of the alphabet while we gently bounce. Back is tall, core is engaged, and stretch into your mouth as much as possible while you bounce in order to strengthen the jawline and the cheeks and the full face here. Let's do it. Here we go. A, B, C. Talk a little faster. E, F, G. Great job. I want your face to get fatigued from these exercises so you can feel the strengthening in your jawline. That's the goal. Next up, we're gonna pull on the ears. So with one hand, if needed, or both, I just want you to pull on those ears for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, anywhere you wanna pull, just open those ears up. 3, 2, and 1. 2 tongue circles in each direction. Something like this. And go into the other direction when you're finished. Great job. You'll notice progression with that strength as well. Let's go ahead and look. First of all, I'm gonna have my finger out here, and I'm gonna bring my finger close in till the eye vision starts to change, and then bring it out and in and out. As we bounce, as we nose breathe, now let's look somewhere further in the distance and look at our still finger and look somewhere else and look to the finger. 3, 2, and 1. Next up, palm into the nose and rotate into the nose in each direction, several circles to open up that nose canal so we can have even more efficient nose breathing. Next up, let's open the mouth as wide as we can for 5 whole seconds. Count on your own, just wide open. Here we go. Excellent. Let's take a moment to draw in the pelvic floor, and let's connect to the pelvic floor and nothing else. And let's just hold that pelvic floor nice and tight, drawing it in, gently bouncing. Connect, connect, stay right here. 20 more seconds. Staying connected takes a skill that we're building. So let's keep practicing that in these classes. Next up, we're going to take a moment to do a breath hold. So I want you to just breathe in through the nose and hold your breath until your body says, okay, now's a good time. Not to an extent of being extreme. Just hold it and then release. And when you're ready, slowly exhale. And last but not least, let's go ahead and do a hum. So let's inhale through the nose and hum as long as you can. And we'll do that twice through. So I will hum with you. Inhale. And let's hum. And one more time. Inhale. And hum as long as you can. And now let's just relax, listening to the sound of our breath, being as relaxed as possible, as calm and as still in our thoughts, in our brains. 3, 2, and 1. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really had a great time in this class and I hope you did too. If you did, please give us a like. Just go ahead and press that like button. It really helps the channel so much and we appreciate every single like. And I would love it if you could comment below. Please send me a flower today. Any flower that you desire. I would absolutely love some flowers in the comment section. And if you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please subscribe. And I also want to thank you for your feedback and thank you for joining me for these leg inversion exercises specifically. I'm very excited about that. And we also have upper body routines for flexibility in case you haven't checked those out. Those are here in the videos tab on our YouTube channel. So thanks again so much for being here and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.